Life has a way of testing you in the moments you least expect. You wake up some days feeling like the weight of the world is pressing on your shoulders, wondering why you're facing so many challenges at once. But I want you to understand something. Every struggle you face is not here to destroy you, it's here to develop you. Every tear, every setback, every rejection is part of a process that's molding you into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable than you've ever been before. When you plant a seed, it doesn't grow because it's comfortable. It grows because it pushes through dirt, darkness, and resistance until it reaches the light. That's exactly what's happening in your life right now. You might feel buried, but in reality, you've been planted. What you're going through is preparing you for a season of growth you can't yet imagine. Struggles have a way of showing us what we're truly made of. Anyone can smile when life is easy, but it's in the valley that character is forged. It's when the pressure is on that your true strength rises to the surface. Diamonds are formed under extreme pressure, and gold is purified in the fire. In the same way, the challenges you're facing are refining you, removing what doesn't belong, and revealing the best version of yourself. There's a reason why muscles grow through resistance. Without weight, without opposition, they stay the same. Your faith, your resilience, your discipline, they grow the same way. Every time you choose to get back up after life knocks you down, you're building spiritual and mental muscles that will carry you to the next level. The struggle also teaches you patience. In a world that demands instant results, you learn that true growth takes time. The tree doesn't bear fruit overnight, and neither will your vision. But the process you're in is necessary. Every delay, every detour, is shaping the mindset you need to sustain what's coming. You don't just want success, you want the strength and wisdom to keep it once you get it. Most importantly, your struggles give you a story. When you overcome, you won't just be someone who made it, you'll be someone who can inspire others to believe they can make it too. Your pain will give you empathy, your setbacks will give you perspective, and your scars will become proof that victory is possible. And when that day comes, you'll realize that every battle, every sleepless night, and every ounce of pain was not wasted, it was shaping you for a purpose greater than you could see. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to believe that the struggles you face are here to break you. But the truth is, they are not signs of your downfall, they are the very tools that are shaping you into the person you're meant to become. Every struggle is part of a divine process that turns pressure into purpose and pain into power. Think about the seasons of your life when everything seemed effortless. They were pleasant, but they didn't force you to grow. You might have enjoyed the comfort, but comfort rarely builds capacity. Struggle, on the other hand, stretches you. It calls out parts of you that would have remained hidden had life stayed easy. It forces you to find strength you didn't know you had and clarity you didn't know you needed. When you face resistance, something shifts inside you. The human spirit is resilient, it adapts, it learns, it fights back. Struggles have a way of waking you up to your potential. They strip away excuses and put you face to face with the reality of who you are and what you're capable of becoming. That if you look closely, you'll see that the most impactful people in the world didn't get there because their journey was smooth. They got there because they endured storms, navigated setbacks, and refused to quit when things got hard. Struggles are the training ground for greatness. They teach you discipline when quitting seems easier. They teach you faith when the outcome is uncertain. They teach you persistence when progress feels slow. That it's also important to realize that struggles often prepare you for opportunities you can't yet see. Sometimes, what you're learning now is not for today. It's for a future moment when you'll need the strength, skill, and wisdom you're gaining. The patience you develop during this season will serve you later. The resilience you build now will carry you through challenges down the road that we tend to struggles as setbacks, but they're often setups. You may feel like you've been pushed down, but in reality, you're being positioned for something higher. A slingshot pulls back before it launches forward. The tension, the pull, the feeling of going backward, these are all part of the momentum that will propel you forward at the right time. When you understand that your struggles are shaping you, you stop resenting them. You begin to embrace the process, even when it's painful. You start to see obstacles as opportunities and problems as possibilities. You realize that the pressure you're under today is the same pressure that will release your potential tomorrow. That doesn't mean you have to enjoy the pain. Growth is often uncomfortable, and the shaping process can feel lonely and exhausting. But it does mean you can endure it with a sense of purpose. You can face each day knowing that this season is not wasted, and neither is your pain. Every tear, every sleepless night, every unanswered question, it's all part of the shaping, and one day, you'll look back on this season and realize that the very thing you thought would break you was the thing that made you unbreakable. You'll recognize that the process you hated was the process that prepared you. And you'll carry that strength into every new challenge, knowing that every struggle you face from that point on is simply another opportunity to become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the future you're building. In life, growth does not happen in the absence of resistance, it happens because of it. Just like a muscle cannot grow without weight to push against, your spirit, your mind, and your character cannot develop without challenges that force you to stretch beyond your limits. Resistance is the very thing that awakens dormant strength inside you. Without it, you stay the same. With it, you evolve into a stronger version of yourself. Think about physical training. If you lift no weight, your muscles remain exactly as they are. It's the resistance of the weight, the heaviness, the strain, that causes the fibers to tear slightly. And it is in the repairing of those fibers that your muscles grow back stronger than before. In the same way, life's pressures, difficulties, and obstacles are the weights that build the muscle of your resilience. Without those moments of tension and pressure, you would never discover the capacity you truly possess. Resistance challenges you to rise above comfort. It forces you to confront parts of yourself you may not want to face, your fears, your insecurities, your weaknesses. And in doing so, it gives you the opportunity to transform those weaknesses into strengths. Without the wind pushing against it, an airplane cannot take off. Without waves pushing against it, a surfer cannot ride. Resistance is not your enemy, it's the force that enables you to rise higher than you ever thought possible. When life is easy, you tend to coast. You don't push yourself. You don't dig deeper. But when resistance shows up, when the bills pile up, when the plan falls apart, when the road gets harder, you are given a choice: give up or grow stronger. It is in that moment that resistance becomes your teacher. It teaches you perseverance when quitting is tempting. It teaches you creativity when resources are scarce. It teaches you adaptability when your plans no longer work. That if you look back on your life, you'll likely realize that your most powerful growth moments came during seasons of resistance, not ease. You may not have seen it then, but in hindsight, you understand that those hardships were the very things that prepared you for greater responsibilities, greater opportunities, and greater victories. Resistance gives you grit. And grit is what allows you to keep moving when motivation fades. This is why some people crumble under pressure while others rise, because they see resistance as an obstacle to avoid, while others see it as a necessary step towards strength. If you try to avoid resistance, you may feel safe, but you will also stay small. You'll never test your capacity, and you'll never see what you're truly capable of becoming. Even in nature, resistance is essential. Consider a seed pushing through the soil. The soil is not soft and welcoming, it's thick and heavy. But it is that very pressure that strengthens the stem enough to survive once it breaks through to the surface. Without that resistance underground, the plant would be too weak to stand in the wind. The same is true for you. The resistance you feel now is fortifying you for what lies ahead. Sometimes, resistance shows up in the form of opposition from people. Sometimes it's failure after failure. Sometimes it's the slow grind of working toward a goal when results seem far away. But in every case, resistance is shaping you. It's forging mental toughness, emotional resilience, and unshakable faith. And once you've been strengthened by resistance, the very things that used to break you will no longer intimidate you. The truth is, you can't wish for growth without welcoming resistance. You can't pray for strength and expect it to come in a comfortable package. Strength is built in the struggle. Wisdom is forged in the trial. Endurance is created in the race. The T feels too long to run. And while you may not enjoy the process, you will absolutely value the result. So instead of resenting the resistance in your life, embrace it. Understand that it's working for you, not against you. The weight may feel heavy now, but it is building a strength you will need for the future. Every push, every setback, every challenge is part of the process of turning you into someone who can handle the dreams and responsibilities you've been called to carry. One day, you'll look back and realize that the very resistance you once dreaded became the reason you could stand tall, unshaken, and ready for anything life puts in your path. Life's challenges are not random accidents, they are intentional refiners. They strip away the parts of you that don't serve your future and strengthen the parts of you that do. Just as fire is used to purify gold, challenges are used to purify your character. They burn away pride, selfishness, impatience, and fear, leaving behind integrity, humility, and resilience. You cannot go through fire and come out the same. When gold is mined from the earth, it doesn't look like the shining treasure people value. It's covered in dirt, mixed with impurities, and unrecognizable in its raw form. The only way to bring out its beauty and value is to put it through intense heat. That heat causes the impurities to separate from the gold so the metal can be shaped into something precious. In the same way, life's challenges apply heat to your soul, not to destroy you, but to bring out your best qualities. That it's easy to think you're patient until you're forced to wait for something important. You may believe you're humble until you're in a position where your pride is tested. You might say you're strong until life hits you in a way that makes you question everything. Challenges have a way of revealing who you really are, not the image you project, but the truth of your inner character. And once you see those truths, you have the opportunity to grow. Sometimes, the refining process is painful because it forces you to let go of habits, attitudes, or relationships that are holding you back. It confronts your excuses and demands you take responsibility. It forces you to operate with honesty when lying would be easier, to stay disciplined when slacking off feels tempting, to remain kind when bitterness wants to take over. These moments are not comfortable, but they are critical for building a foundation that can support your dreams. Without refinement, success can be dangerous. If your actor is weak, the weight of success can crush you. You might get the opportunities you prayed for, but without the integrity to manage them, they will slip through your fingers. Challenges ensure that when you arrive at your destination, you are strong enough to stay there. They build the discipline to follow through, the humility to keep learning, and the wisdom to make better choices. Think about the people you admire most. Chances are, they didn't become admirable because they avoided hardship. They became admirable because hardship shaped them. They developed compassion because they knew pain. They practiced generosity because they experienced lack. They learned self-control because they faced temptations they had to overcome. Every admirable quality in a person is the result of some refining process they endured. The truth is, refinement doesn't happen in moments of comfort. It happens when you're under pressure, when your patience is stretched, when your faith is tested. It happens when the easy way out is right in front of you but you choose the hard, right way instead. Each of those choices makes you stronger, wiser, and more trustworthy, not just to others, but to yourself. This is why challenges are so valuable. They don't just prepare you for success, they prepare you to handle it well. They ensure that when you're given influence, you use it for good. They make sure that when you're trusted with more, you remain faithful in your stewardship. They keep you grounded, even as you rise. And here's the beautiful thing. Once the refining is complete in a certain area of your life, you'll find that the situations which once rattled you no longer have the same effect. The criticism that used to crush you becomes fuel for your growth. The obstacles that once made you quit become stepping stones you confidently walk over. The very fire that burned you now lights your path forward. When you understand the purpose of challenges, you stop resenting them. You start asking, what is this teaching me? What is this removing from my life that I don't need? How is this making me better? And with that mindset, every difficulty becomes part of your preparation, not just for what you want to achieve, but for the kind of person you want to be when you achieve it. One day, you'll look back on your journey and realize that the challenges you thought were trying to break you were actually refining you. And in that moment, you'll understand that the fire you endured wasn't punishment, it was the process that turned you into something priceless. Life's challenges are not a sign that you're failing, they are evidence that you're being prepared for more. Each hardship is molding your character, building your endurance, and sharpening your vision. When you embrace the process instead of resisting it, you transform from someone who merely survives into someone who thrives. So keep going, keep believing, and keep trusting that every struggle is shaping you into exactly who you're meant to be. You are stronger than you think, and your future is brighter than you can imagine.